welcome to Smitten. Well, kind of Smitten, but not exactly. We're in a cabin and we're brainstorming our next book in the Smitten series. We're having a great time. I think we're going to come up with some things you're going to really like.
We're the co-authors of the book Smitten, and I'm Denise Hunter. This is Colleen Coble, and that is Kristin Billerbeck. Our other buddy, Diann, is not able to be with us today.
The four of us have written romance novels in the past, and we had all done a romance novella together, the three of us. And Diann was feeling like the fourth wheel. She was left out because she was never in one of our collections. And so she came up with this idea when someone asked the four of us to write a novella collection. We realized, yeah, that's the missing piece. We haven't all been together. So we talked to our editors, and we decided to write the Smitten and came up with the idea so that we could all be in a novella together and all combine our romance and our backgrounds as friends.
When we decided to write Smitten together, we knew it was going to be a challenge to write the same characters in each of our novellas.
Because we wanted it to be more like a novel in four parts,
Right.
not separate novellas.
Like my character is in her book, and in her book, and hers are in my book. So,
and they're all interacting all the time.
And the challenge, of course, is to make sure that the characters don't change from one story to the next. And I think it was Colleen that came up with the idea. She was like, well, let's just make our characters kind of like us. So we decided that we would kind of put our own personalities into our own characters, so that when we wrote them, whether Kristin was writing my character, she would know what my character would say because she knows me, and we can kind of put words in each other's mouths.
And we did.
And we did. It was very fun to do so. So Reese is like me in that she's organized and she's a planner. She's also very much of a tomboy, which isn't quite like me, but I exercise. I like to walk.
She's got 3 boys, so.
Well, yeah, I don't sit down a whole lot, but I like to incorporate the exercise aspect of Reese, even though she takes it a little further than I do.
Oh yes, way more than I like to.
Much more
Natalie.
than you,
Yeah.
Natalie.
So she was having to drag Natalie. I keep saying me. It is me, but it isn't exactly. But a lot of Natalie's characteristics are mine. You know, I never meet a stranger. I love coffee, so I wanted to have a coffee shop. I can't eat gluten, so I'm always coming up with these gluten-free treats for the girls. Now, you have to admit the chocolate chip cookies were good. Now, come on, girls.
They were good. They were good.
Yeah, they were good. You didn't
I'm just not remembering them as good, but I'm sure they were.
You ate some. I know you liked them.
I'll eat anything.
And there have been some failures too that the girls have had to suffer through, but we've all,
So Julia is like me in that she's a city girl and she's very impulsive. When she comes back and sees that there's a need for her to be back with her family, she changes her mind about going back to New York, and
we kind of convinced her. Our characters kind of convinced her
which
too.
is really how it is in life. I mean, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and Colleen goes, well, you're gonna do this. And
Our mother hen.
Yeah.
And then Shelby is so like Di in that she has this very sweet nature. Her first thought always is to pray about something. And she is so encouraging, so supportive of her friends and her family. And while you don't really see Di necessarily, we call her Di, incidentally. Her full name is Diann, but we call her Di. You don't always necessarily see her doing anything with manners. She's very much about encouraging other people. She's a great encourager, wouldn't you say?
Yes, absolutely.
The most fun thing about the collaboration process was that we are very serious writers. We really work hard on our craft, and we knew that the other writers were at that level as well. But also the collaboration process included how those things flowed together. So we had to plot the arc of the entire book and figure out together where each of those things were going to fall and whose story they were going to fall. But the good thing is that we had great confidence that each one of us were going to carry our piece of that story without a problem.
And part of it was that we decided to use our strengths in order to determine the story order.
Yes, we did.
Colleen is really great at setting. She was ideal to start the collection because we knew she would lay out the setting of Smitten and make it exactly the town that we envisioned in our minds. And Kristin, she's great with dialogue, and sometimes the middle of a book can kind of feel a little saggy, and we knew that that wouldn't be the case with Kristin
and Diann both have humor.
Yes.
And that really helped carry
the middle.
It helped with the balance. The balance was great that way.
And so then
you have a
I don't
great
know how
strength
I
with wrapping things up, and that awesome kiss comes at the end.
Romance.
And
you leave feeling really satisfied because she's so good.
I
at
liked
romance.
wrapping the story up.
And she got to wrap up with that wedding,
Yeah,
again, a
there's
real
nothing more
strength of hers.
romantic
So.
than that. But I liked wrapping it up because they had all done such a great job setting up the whole story, the setting, the premise, that it just felt like I already had a bow started, and I just had to just put a
Tie
little
it up.
tie on it, and there it is.